Hello and welcome back to another episode of Star Charts. This is Mr. Everything, and I will be taking you on the Grand Tour. In this episode, we will be visiting the system of Kallis. And Kallis is located right here, which is to the east of Sol. It is a fairly medium world with a 20 AU size. It has no population, but it does have an economy and no threat. Kallis is a developing system whose planetary masses are still in the process of forming, much to the interest of the scientific community. Even though it lacks any life forms, it is currently protected by the Fair Chance Act, so that researchers may take advantage of this unique opportunity to watch a system's formation firsthand. Let's travel to the Kallis system. At last you saw us, we were in the Oso system. We traveled to the Kallis jump point, which is located above the system's plane. And it brings us to Kallis. Alright, the Kallis main star is the main sequence Dwarf G. Kallis 1. Protected under the Fair Chance Act. A small mass believed to be developing into a protoplanet. There is an asteroid field here. It's not really discussed. Kallis Alpha Belt. That's it. Kallis 2. Terrestrial rocky, also protected. A rocky terrestrial world forming between two asteroid belts currently shares an orbit with Kallis 3. So that means that both worlds are on the same orbital axis, on opposite sides of the Sun. There was an old sci-fi series called Mirror Earth, not series, I guess it was a movie, called Mirror Earth. And what that sci-fi movie was about was an astronaut left Earth. A couple of them, I think. They left Earth in a spaceship to go investigate Venus or something like that, and they got caught in the sun's gravitational field. They got like knocked out, and they had like what do you call it? Equipment malfunctions and stuff like that, and they got turned around, and they didn't realize. They saw the Earth was there, and they went and traveled to land back on Earth to return home, basically. And when they got there, all the same people they knew were there. Everything was the same, except it was like an alternate dimension. You know how you have duplicate Earths, like Earth 1, Earth 2? Except everything was written backwards. Like all the words and everything was written, and the only way they could read it would be as if they like held up a mirror, and you could see the reflection in the mirror, and you could actually read it. And they realized that they were on an alien planet, but like someone's mole might be on their left cheek, but when they go to the other planet, it might be on the right cheek. And it's a very weird, show. Like, how would we never know that there was another planet there? But it was interesting. It was kind of cool. But that's kind of what I think of when I see Kallis 2 and Kallis 3, is that this planet is like the mirror of that planet. But we'll see. Sharing the same orbital as Kallis 2, scientists are eagerly watching and wondering if one of these planets will subsume the other. Basically, if one of the planets overtakes the other one, will they collide? Will they break open? Will they, what will happen? Curiosity. Then you have the Beta Belt. And then, of course, jump points. But then we go to Kallis 4. Terrestrial rocky. Protected. A world dominated by volcanic activity that appears to be forming an atmosphere. Members of the scientific community are particularly fixated on Kallis 4, survey number DXP-55.7 Charlie, and track its progress from the edge of the system with orbital platforms and research drones, hoping it might reveal how Earth developed. Kallis 5. A terrestrial, rocky world, protected. A rocky terrestrial planet without an atmosphere. It is believed that this massive meteor strike created an accretion disk swirling around the world. Coalescing debris has some scientists hypothesizing that the disk may form into a moon. The rings of Kallis 5. Okay, we go to Kallis 6. Now this is a carbon planet, also protected, a forming terrestrial carbon planet still early in its development. Kallis 7. Gas giant, protected. Scientists are watching this burgeoning gas giant's atmosphere closely to study storm formations. Still moving out, we have Kallis 8. Ice giant, protected. Witnessing the formation of this ice giant is of great interest to the scientific community, as there are still debates as to the exact process. Composed of heavier elements than normal gas giants, it is currently believed that Kallis 8 formed closer to the star before being gravitationally scattered outward to its current orbit. Kallis 9. Dwarf planet, protected. This small dwarf planet's surface is a barren, icy tundra dotted with active cryovolcanoes that spew freezing magma into the tumultuous ammonia-rich atmosphere. Scientists theorize that Kallis 9 will slowly grow dormant over the next few millennia. OB Station Griffin, Science Station. An observation post for scientists studying the developing system. And that was the Kallis system. It's one of those systems that's also protected. You might find travel through the system, but there's not to be any disturbance of how this system develops, so it might be considered to be off limits. And the next system will be the Brennan system. So come back and check that out. And this was Star Charts, Mr. Everything with the Grand Tour, and I'll catch you next time.